Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2019 with the Rude Man. We're back on Simon Family Farms, and we're in the middle of our first season's harvest. So I'm going to continue with that. We got this lower part to do, and then I don't know. I need to check on the soybeans and see how they're doing. So let's do that. Okay, they're 83%, so they're not ready yet. And that's fine. We got plenty of work to do. So let's run out, put him back in the truck. And what was he doing? Let's finish here. This field, and then we'll move on. These fields are pretty small, so it's, yeah, by the time I hire somebody, I mean, and they're weird shape too because of the contours. By the time I hire somebody, I'm done. So just as easy to harvest them myself. Well, Andy's in here. I'm just controlling Andy. Looks like we're full. Alright, let's go get the truck. That darn truck. I'm hoping that this season I can make a little bit of money and buy another field. And buy a bigger field that's not quite so weirdly shaped. Woohoo! Oh, jeez. Oh, didn't. Sorry. Couldn't resist it. Come on, 48. Move it. Usually I can get 48 to set himself back up. There we go. I love this trick. He's got talent, 48. Yeah, we got a bunch of straw to pick up now. So I think this whole bottom is wheat. Well, How are we going to do this? First of all, I need to get it away from those telephone poles, so I guess I'll just kind of run across the top here. And we got trees on the bottom that I'll have to run across. So I got obstacles on both sides of the north and south of the fields. I was going to say field, but there's more than one. Fields. I checked on the animals when I came in. They're doing fine. The cows could use some corn stalks, but they're at 100% efficiency, so it's not a necessity. I'm going to try something. I'm going to take headland at the south and at the north so that I don't have to worry about messing around with these trees and those telephone poles. And then I'm going to see if a hired worker is capable of just running up and down the fields even though there's spaces between them of grass. Those trees pretty. I mentioned in the last episode that fall is what it's. When I was younger, fall was my favorite season. But I lived in an area that was kind of like this. It had trees that turned color, and I loved the weather. It was a brisk weather and all that kind of stuff. And then we moved to an area that had evergreens, pine trees and that kind of thing, and they don't have leaves and they don't turn color. And so I kind of, fall wasn't quite so special as it used to be. But I have to say still probably fall is my favorite because it's I don't know, it's cool and brisk and beautiful colors and things like that. It's starting into holiday seasons. So you got Halloween, which is one of my favorites. I probably liked Halloween better growing up than I did Christmas. Now that I'm older, I suppose my favorite is Thanksgiving because that's when the family gets together and it's always good to have family. Although nowadays it's kind of tough because you can't have people over. I mean, something has to happen. It's just we can't go on living where we can't see our family and we miss weddings and funerals and birthdays and holidays because of people afraid to gather. Something's gotta end. It's just we can't keep living like this. All right, I'm gonna see if I can hire a worker to go up and down now and see what they do with those contours. Boy, we've got a foggy morning today. It's, what is it? Almost 11 o'clock, and there's still a fog where I can barely see the school across the street. Let's go store this. And while he's doing that, I'm going to grab somebody and see if we can pick up some straw. Okay, I'm going to park him right here across the street, and we'll take him over there when we need him. But we'll scrub John. Oh, hang on. Am I going to have trouble with that? Alright, I'm going to have to see if I can... I got to see if I can trick the field. I think if I'm in the field... it'll think I'm in the field and it'll pick that up. Yeah. That's crazy that for some reason it says you don't own the little patch between the fields. What? How's that work? The quicker picker-upper is like a big giant vacuum cleaner. Good old John Deere. Alright, we're full. Whoops. Guess it already put itself up, didn't it? Yeah, it did. We're mid-autumn. So we've got one more day of fall. And we'll see if we can get the... We should be able to get the beans off before winter. Winter. Ah, winter. Sound like a dwarf. I'm going to store the straw, and when we go to sell, we can sell it in bulk. we're getting low on fuel. You know what? Let me go check and see if we've made any fuel, and if we did, if there's a pump there. Because there sure looks like there is. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's made some fuel. So how does it work? Or does it? Oh, it did. It did. It fueled it up. Because when I pulled the tractor away, it was I only had about a half a tank. Wow, it filled it up fast. Huh. I didn't even see it. I wasn't watching the gauge. Well, that's interesting. What else have we got? Okay, that's the combine needs. The truck a little. That combine's fine. So but this combine needs fuel. Let me try this again. Okay, now this time I'm going to watch the fuel tank because I don't know if me pushing a button or if just driving over it filled it. So I'm going to just drive over it and see if it does anything. Let me button this thing up so it's got a smaller profile. Okay, watch the gauge to the right, lower right hand corner. And I'm going to drive over this and see what it does. Okay, driving over it didn't do anything. Let's back it up. And hit the R button. And that didn't do anything. Well, that's funny. Because it has less fuel. Huh. So how does this work? Oh, I see. It's putting fuel in it, but it's needs to make some more. When I hit that R, I saw the gauge move up, so it's still producing fuel. Okay, but it does work. Let's leave this setting here, and we'll get back to work. What's he doing now? What's he doing? Oh my! Somehow he skipped the whole section. Huh. Oh, I see what he's doing. Oh, I see. Alright, we're going to have to clean up, aren't we? You know what I could do? I can let that guy go, and I can take the second combine and do the cleanup. Let's grab the second combine and get to work. Man, this thing's quiet on the inside. So I just have to wait until it produces more fuel, I guess. Put the wheels up. Alright, now he's working there. Kind of. Let's see where he missed. Boy, he missed quite a bit, actually. I was afraid of that. That they don't realize the shapes of the fields and no windrow. There we go. I don't really need the straw, but it's more money. There's another one of those weird patches that withers. I don't understand what that is. What's causing that? Clean up on aisle 1. Yeah, it's a good thing that I've got that quicker picker-upper with the big boom on it, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to pick up this straw that's in between the fields, because it says I don't own the field. But since that quicker picker-upper has those long booms on it, the tractor and the equipment can be on the field and the boom will pick it up. But if I'm off the field, like if I was right here, it'll say you don't own it, so it won't let me pick it up. So I have to drive the rig into the field that it says I own, and then it'll pick it up. Isn't that weird? That's strange. Very strange. Uh-oh. Is it full? Might be. Yep, looks like it. Alright. Let's go get the truck. Don't run over the mailbox. Done that before. Man, that's a big pile of straw. Woohoo! And it's off. Okay, back into this field. This is just making a hell of a mess. But we'll get everything. We're getting on the crop, so I guess that's what matters. Just go that way. No, go that way. Just turn in a corner. Spin around. Do a donut. Looks like somebody was hella drunk when they did this. But that's not quite full. Beeps like that when it looks, I guess when it gets to 20% left. It seemed like it was about 80 when it started beeping. 80%. But it was enough to finish the field off. All right, truck. Time to go back to work. Dar, come on in. All right. Good thing there's no traffic. Okay. So I guess we're both doing cleanup now, huh? Suck it up, Buttercup. Almost done, and you just have to wait for the beans. Beans, beans, beans. don't know. I'm worried about our farmers and stuff. I know that there's people out there buying up as much farmland as they can get. China's buying up a lot of farmland in the U.S., and so is Bill Gates. And you got to ask what they're trying to do. You know, do they want to control our food? If they control our food, what's going to happen? Everybody's out for a buck nowadays. They don't worry about their future. They don't worry about their kids and what's going to happen to them. It's just that, hey, let's sell it. They want to buy it. Let's sell it. We'll make tons of money. What are you going to do if you got no food to eat? That money's not going to do you any good. And before somebody says, "Oh, rude man, you're just paranoid," maybe, but I've seen it happen too many times, where something like that, and people say, "Oh, you're paranoid," but then it comes comes true, and then, well, okay, so maybe I was paranoid, but it came true. I can't tell you how many times things have happened, and I've said, "Oh my God." 10 years ago, people would have said that could never happen, and now it's happened. 10, 15 years ago, people were called paranoid and crazy that they'd even consider something like that happening, but then it happens. So I'm not quite, as skeptical as I used to be. I used to be pretty skeptical and say, "Oh, that's just crazy talk. That could never happen." And then it did. So nowadays, when somebody says, "Look, they're trying to buy up all our farmland and they want to control our food," maybe it's true. And you might say, "Well, are they doing that? Why are they?" Well, okay, if they own the farmland, they can say where the food goes, and it may not go. They may be growing food in America for their own country, and we won't have food. Okay, that one's empty. Let's pull it in. Take care of it. Get it off the field. I think I caught up all the cleanup stuff. You hear the engine pick up when I started? Listen. Yep, then it shuts down. Back to straw, I guess. Okay. Oh, shoot. I did it again. God. Every time. I wanted to do that. Well, they're still working on the school across the street, and we're well into August. I hope they get the work done before school starts. I don't know what they're doing on the inside, but the outside, they're putting new siding and a new roof. I think they collected from the taxpayers about $80 million, and 50-some million. I think it was $56 million was spent on land to build the new middle school, and I think the actual construction took another $8 million. And then they're also then working on, of course, the grade school, new siding, new roof. They refinished the track in the back. And the football field, and a bunch of other stuff that they've been doing. A lot of money. So our taxes went up. I don't know what the heck the deal is. Property prices went up. I don't know what you're going to do about it, but my house was worth so much more than it was 2 years ago just because of all this, I don't know, inflation. I don't know what it is. But the problem is people are, getting all excited. Oh, my house is worth more money. I'm going to sell it because, and get rich or whatever. Then they find out that it happened everywhere. So now that they have to replace their house, they can't afford. They can't afford the prices. They should have stayed where they were at. Now they're finding that the money that they needed to buy the new house bought a lesser of a house, because the prices went up on everything. So unless they want to buy, let's say they sold, a house for $500,000. Okay, what are they going to do? Well, they could probably downgrade, but the problem is the houses that were like really crappy are now worth a ton of money, more than they were. So they're using their money to get into a house that's lesser quality. If they want a a house that's better quality, okay, you got to come up with $1 million. I'm exaggerating, but you get my drift. So they can't find places, is what it is. Yeah, see? Watch. I don't own this. Oh, it picked it up. Okay. I don't know. Every time I say that, it doesn't work. I mean, it works. Every time I say it won't work, it works. And then you'll get to a spot where it doesn't work because it says you don't own the property. I don't know how it's figured out. It's weird. I gotta quit. See, don't own the. I couldn't get part of that because it says I didn't own it. I gotta finish one field at a time, or it's gonna take forever. Those pretty trees. Red, orange. Well, I didn't really see any red, orange, and yellow. Maybe it's a certain kind of tree that has red leaves. Every time I think of fall, that's what I think of. I think of like a city park or a particular street that has like maple and oak trees, and there's leaves blowing. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's a little nippy. It's not quite shorts weather, but it's not parka weather either. But it's getting there. And there's leaves blowing down the street, and the trees look all red and yellow and like that. I can see people walking through the park with the trees, with the leaves blowing down the lane. And now, snowy weather, I think the same thing. You know, it's nothing to me more beautiful than, say, sitting on a park bench with a street light close by, and it's nighttime, and it's snowing, and it's quiet, and there's nobody walking around. You're just out there by yourself, and the snow's softly coming down, and it's just quiet and pristine. The snow's beautiful. Good thinking weather. Sit on a park bench and take in all the quiet. A blanket of snow. I was screaming the other night. Wife came in. What's the matter? What's the matter? I had a cup of sweet tea, and I was drinking it, and I swear that I thought that the last drink that I took it down to where there was just a tiny little bit in the bottom of the cup. Well, I don't like to leave like pop cans. When you finish off a can of pop, I don't like to leave stuff in it, because when you put in Oregon, they're worth 10 cents. You've got to take them back in, and you can't crush them. So we put them in plastic bags. We take them in, they count them, and they give you your 10 cents per can. It's a pain in the ass. But the problem is, if you don't drain all the pop out of the pop can, it empties in the plastic bag, it drips on everything, it makes a mess, it's sticky. So what I do with the pop can, when I'm done drinking it, I'll put it up to my mouth and I'll just shake it so that I get every drop out of it. And then I put it in the container that I have next to me to stack up the pop cans till such time as we go, get our refund. A lot of people don't do that. Well, anyway, since I do that with the pop cans, I do it with my teacups as well. I don't like leaving a teacup with, a little bit of tea left in it, because then you pick it up and you don't realize it's got something in it, and you tip it, and it spills, and it makes a mess. So I do that with my teacup. Well, I really thought that this cup of tea only had that little drop left. And I grabbed it and I just threw it up to my mouth to get that little bit left. It had a half a cup in it. It just doused me. I was just screaming. My shirt was just soaking wet. My face, my glasses were all soaked. Just, what a mess. I'm just screaming to high heaven. Carol's wanting to know what the hell happened. She thought I had a heart attack or something. Anyway, it's time for me to go. I'm going to end it here. And I think what I'll do is I'll finish picking up the straw in between episodes. And when I come back, we'll take a look at the beans and see how they're doing. Hope you had fun. Hope to see you in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.